Good evening, folks. This is Mark here at JTech, and tonight what we're going to do is basically go through a pretty simple scenario of cutting a piece of 1/4-inch steel. It's about 2 inches long. It's for to kind of show you guys how to effectively operate a cutting torch in the event you do not know. I'm going to take the camera here and I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to point it at the gauges back here so that you folks can kind of get an idea what I'm talking about. You'll be able to hear me, but you won't see me. So if you just give me a moment, we'll do that. Okay, right here, if I can slow this down, right here we have our acetylene tank, and this is our oxygen tank. Okay, the oxygen tank, when you're cutting, the thumb or the hand wheel should be all the way open as such, and the dial for the pressure to the gauge should be right here at about between 30 and 40 psi. As you can see right now it's on 40, and when I go to adjust it, we'll see how it comes out. Okay, and here's the hand wheel for the oxygen, so you can raise and lower the amount of pressure that you'll have on the nozzle. So we'll adjust that when I get to it. Acetylene is pretty much the same thing, except acetylene will have anywhere from roughly 7 to 8 psi. That should be enough acetylene in order for it to get hot enough to get the metal hot. And again, there's your thumb wheel one more time in order for us to adjust the pressure that we see here, which is roughly 7.5 right now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to turn you back around. And what we want to do is cover a few basics here. All right, the one thing you want to make sure you have when you are cutting is a good pair of gloves that you can wear. That way you don't get burnt. Hey, Scott, do you mind tossing me those? Them and the glasses, I appreciate it. And what you want is a good pair of gloves. These happen to be Vulcans that I bought downtown, reasonable price. And these are a set of dark sunglasses. Basically, you basically want something between a 3 to a 5 darkness for when you're cutting. That way you don't have that glare in your eye when you're done cutting. So these actually are 3, so they'll work fine for me. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to them. I'm blind as a bat without them. Okay, so now we're basically set up to do this. And here's our oxygen torch, so that in case you haven't been familiar with one, you got a red hose and you got a green hose. Red and green. All right, the red hose is your fuel hose or your acetylene. The green hose is your oxygen hose. Okay, and up here you also have an adjustment knob, and this is what you're going to use to throttle the oxygen as you're cutting. Okay, the oxygen knob on the bottom should always be left wide open when you're getting ready to cut. Acetylene will be off. Okay, and then you adjust by opening this up for your oxygen so you can actually cut with it. Okay, and I'm going to step away from the camera here. I'm going to go over to the table and get ready to do some cutting. So if you'll bear with me, we'll get this thing done and we'll be over with. So again, you want to put on your gloves, make sure everything's good there. And we'll turn around and get ready to start the acetylene cutter, or oxygen acetylene cutter. The one thing you want to do is you want to turn the acetylene knob on far enough to where you get a fairly decent flame, and basically where it's just on the verge of being done sooting. Acetylene will soot if it comes out too slow. And once you get it out there and you get it adjusted where it is, where it looks like a decent flame with acetylene, then you cut in the oxygen slowly and adjust your flame. And what you're looking for is a nice tip to your flame. It'll be the blue tip that you'll see. And I'll show you those as I get this lit. Alright, I'm going to light this off now. Here goes our acetylene. Alright. Let's set it in here, so we'll get it back. Here we go. Okay, as you can see, you may or may not be able to see it. I've got a long blue flame in the center right now. I'm going to keep adding oxygen. A long blue flame will give you an oxidizing cut, which is what you do not want. And we are sitting here right now with about 8 nice little points. And with that, you should be able to blow your way through a piece of metal. So we're going to play with this just a second more. You want to have just a little rumble coming out of there. Not to swell too much. All right. And okay, I'm going to get ready to cut. The other thing you want to do is make sure you get very comfortable because it's going to be on this table for a little bit in order to get a decent straight cut. You want to get the metal hot. Once you get the metal hot, you start blowing through it. We're going to take over in about 30 seconds. Okay, and when you shut your torch off, first thing you're going to do is cut off your settling, then you cut off your oxygen. And the reason you do it in that particular order is so the flame, when you if you turn off the oxygen first, flame could have a tendency to flow back into the torch handle itself, and it'll sit there and get really nice and hot about here. So you want to make sure and cut off your acetylene first and your oxygen, because the oxygen will purge the system of all the acetylene. And other than that, that's pretty much it. I hope everything was great for you. And the last thing we're going to do then is we're going to come over here to our gauges. And what you want to do is you want to take your gauges, you want to shut your bottles off, like so. Oxygen is always open, and your acetylene is only open just about half a turn to turn, and then shut it off. And the last thing you want to do is you want to back your regulators down to make sure that you don't have them automatically set to a given pressure. And we'll do the oxygen. And there we go. All right, folks, that's it. I hope it was of use to you, and thank you very much for watching.